Imagine that you are a teacher who will be using a new textbook with your class. You would need to become familiar with that textbook and determine how best to use it with your students. You can think of your students' online course as a kind of fancy new textbook, and as their mentor, you'll need to be familiar with it to provide them with the best possible support. In this video, you will learn how online learning works with ALVS and what the course experience is like from the student's perspective. Students will receive a welcome email from us with their login credentials along with some Getting Started resources. Before diving into their course, students should review those resources, and in the next video you will learn some other things to go over with your students during an orientation. To log in, students should follow the link to the sign-in page and use the username and password provided to them in their welcome email. After logging in, students will be taken to their dashboard, which is where students will launch their course and have access to several other features that they will use throughout the term. The Grade to Date, Progress Bar, and Overdue Activity Alert enable students to monitor their own progress and performance. Teachers can share resources or updates with students under Announcements. This is also where the link to our online tutors is located. Students can click on the link and get help from an online tutor in real time. The Message Center is where students will send or receive messages and submit assignments. Students should change the settings in their profile so that they receive email notifications when their teachers send them messages and when their assignments have been graded. Teachers will respond to messages within 1 school day, and they will grade assignments within 3 school days. The calendar provides an easy way for students to see when assignments are due. They are not penalized for late work, but to finish the course on time, students should stick to those due dates as closely as possible. Now that you know what is available to the students on their dashboard, let's take a look at a course. Unit tiles show students the major topics covered by the course. Students just need to click Start or Resume to begin or pick up where they left off. Each unit is made up of multiple lessons, and each lesson is made up of multiple activities for the student to complete. Study activities are where the content is delivered through multiple modes, including text, video, and interactive activities to keep the students engaged. Each study activity has a study sheet for note-taking that will also help students organize and retain the content being presented. On every page of the course, there are also text-to-speech and translation tools to assist ELL students and struggling readers. Ungraded checkup activities provide students with low-stakes opportunities to assess their understanding and receive immediate feedback. There are 2 main types of graded activities: computer-scored assignments that are multiple choice and will be completed within the course itself, and teacher-scored assignments that will need to be submitted to the student's teacher for grading. Computer-scored quizzes occur immediately after most study activities. These are scored immediately and show students if any materials should be reviewed before moving on. Teacher-scored assignments, like journals, practices, and labs, can be either printed out and completed by hand or completed in a word processor on a computer. Either way, these assignments will need to be submitted to the teacher as attachments to messages. This process is a challenge for most students, so it will be important for you to model it for your students during your orientation. There are usually 2 tests at the end of each unit, 1 computer-scored and 1 teacher-scored, and both are required. If your school chose to have tests proctored, students will need to have their mentors unlock those, and you will be shown how to do that in the next video. Final exams are at the end of each course, and teachers will post final grades within a week of the course's end date. When the course is ended, most schools need something for their records that documents the student's course and what grade the student earned. The student's grade letter report is what most schools need, and as the mentor, you will need to obtain that report from the platform. Now that you have seen what the course experience is like for your students, the next video will go over how you can set your students up for success.